Hello and welcome back to the Weighted Native Chronicles. What we're going to do today is something a little bit different, because if you like the outdoors, and you know this channel is devoted a lot to hunting and trapping and native crafts, a whole gamut of things. But one of the things that makes it more enjoyable is to be able to look back on what you've done in the past, and being able to record that on video can be a real asset. In fact, once you get into making videos, it's an additional incentive to go out and do things, I find. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to give you some really good ideas on equipment to use in the outdoor setting for recording your adventures. I think this is going to be really good, very helpful to you, because there's some new technology out there that can make things a whole lot better. So let's get into it. Okay, so let's get started into this. I'm going to recommend some very specific equipment to you. So there's a lot of videos out there that will teach you specifics on the use of this equipment, and there's of course all kinds of choices out there. So I'm not going to go over everything that's available and the pros and cons and stuff. I'm just going to tell you what I find is the best. And one of the things that you have to consider nowadays, I think, is for whatever you're doing, think down the road a little bit. So this video, for instance, is being recorded in pretty high resolution. It's what they call 180p, so 1920 by 1080 pixels. But down the road, everybody's going to have 4K televisions, and the resolutions are going to improve. So if at all possible, I think you should make the move up to 4K. That's about twice the resolution of what this video is being done at. So yeah, I'm kind of contradicting myself by doing this one in the lower resolution, but the reason is that this new little camera, and it's really little, it does 4K and it's superb video quality. So when you film with using a camera like this, you're going to have video that's going to remain pleasing to the eye 10 years down the road, well, when your grandchildren view it, all that. So it's sometimes worth to get a little bit on the edge of the curve a bit when it comes to this stuff, because we know very well that things are changing, and they do change fast. So already I think every TV you're going to buy is 4K capable. So that's to start with. Now the other thing is you got to have a camera if you're going out on trips and you want to record a lot of stuff. One of the big things is the camera has to be with you at least. It could be an amazing camera, but if it's back in the car or in the campsite, what good is it going to do you? So what we're going to look at is this little camera here. This is a what's called an Osmo Pocket 2 camera. This is a special camera because it is so small. This thing fits easily in your pocket, so you can have this thing with you all the time. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you about this camera and its features, why it's good, and then we're also going to get into a few accessories that you can get for it, because that can really enhance your video taking as well. But the main thing is to have this little camera here that in this size, ready and with you at all times. So that's the main thing. Let's start taking a look at this thing. What I would do when I buy this, it comes in two variants. You can buy just the camera by itself, or you can buy what's called the creator combo. And I would definitely strongly recommend you get the creator combo. It costs a little bit more, but the stuff that you get in with it is well worth it. That's what I have, and you'll really be glad that you got the combo. It's going to cost a bit more, but if you bought those extra pieces separately later, will cost you even more than that. So this is not a cheap camera, and you know, when you look at the size of it, it's pretty small. It doesn't seem like much, but this camera does. And I'll see if I can catch it here a little bit. I'm just gonna push this side button, and see how it just turned around. This camera has a gimbal. See, I can go up and down, and it'll follow slowly or stay in a tilt lock mode. This is a camera that has what you call a gimbal on it, and you can turn it around to face yourself like that, or have it face the other way. Let's see which way I gotta bring this. So you can film forward, or you can face yourself when you're filming. So that's kind of handy if you're narrating a walk that you're doing or something like that. So what I'll do is I'll turn this thing around again. It has a small little screen. You can see there. I'm not going to go into all of the functionality of it, but it has a little gimbal on it. You can kind of move the, here I'll just turn it around to face the camera. I can move this gimbal so that it goes left and right and stuff like that. So that's basically the camera here. This one comes with a wireless module, a do anything handle they call it. And I'm just going to turn this thing off for now. I'll kind of go into the various aspects of this camera. It comes with a case that it fits in very nicely, and protects the camera well for when you put it in your pocket. And it has a little tripod that will attach to the bottom of the camera, which you can spread out like so. You can attach that to the bottom thread of the camera, so you can set it and have it film. It will even follow you. It has face recognition, so you can set it on the side of a trail and just start walking to it and walk past it, and the camera will track you. So it's just like if you're by yourself, people say, well, you must have had somebody with you on that trip. You say, no, I just had this little camera, and it follows me around as I'm walking or working in the camp, stuff like that. That's kind of neat. So what else can I say about this thing? You know, it's got an amazing picture quality. You can look at reviews online. There used to be an Osmo Pocket. That was an earlier version, and then now they've come out with the Pocket 2. So this is the Pocket 2. It's got better video. It frames at 4K right up to 60 feet per second, or frames per second. So it does all kinds of stuff. Slow motion. It does panning. You can tell it to move in a certain pattern, and it'll film the stars or whatever. So many things. I could spend an hour just on that, but what I want to focus on in this video is more the total gear thing, and this way it gets your feet wet, and if you like it, then you'll maybe want to look into it further if you want to buy one of these things. So I'm just sliding this thing in to its case again, just to show you what I've come up with. I decided when I got this thing to make myself a case out of leather, and this case basically has the main gear that I want to take with me. It's a shoulder rig. I actually had made it for carrying a handgun and a shoulder rig. So this kind of crosses over your back like that. You just put that through there, and your arm through there, and the thing just sits on your side, right? Then you can have your coat over or vest or nothing, and you can get at your stuff. It's very comfortable to carry this equipment that way. Now you might be looking at this thinking, what is this other stuff here? Okay, this is an extension rod. Maybe I'll just show you some of the, in case you want to make a case like this. I don't have plans for it, but I've made it with, I'll show it to the camera here, a little Pocket that snaps down and I can carry a few of my things. This camera comes with an external microphone. Here I got my cell phone tucked in there. All kinds of little things that you need to carry with this. Not too hard to make if you know how to do a little bit of leather work. It's pretty basic stuff. So what I have here is an extension cord stick, and you can put the camera on this stick and record as you're walking along, or hold it up high and film down, or take low shots, things like that. There's a lot you can do with an extension stick, and I find that's a really nice way to film while you're going down trails. Now you might be wondering about this. This is another aspect of this camera. Let's take the video camera, the cell phone out. As you notice when I showed you earlier what we have here, it's a very tiny little screen, right? Well, I'm just going to show you how this thing works. Okay, so there is a little joystick on this thing. I'll show you how I use this on the extension stick. Pull it out a little bit. There's a little latch here, and in this latch there's a little connector there. That connector is meant to go into the little camera here. So I'll take this, I'll slide that into the extension cord thing here and snap it shut. I'll pull it out a little bit, adjust its angle, and then I'll get this, and we'll just snap this in to the holder here. I want to position this little holder so it doesn't push down on the buttons on the side. Okay, so we got that in there, and this brings up a little application. Can you see that well there? Okay, so that's the application. It wants me to connect to the camera, so I'll push that and then I'll type connect. I'm going to flip this around, and you can see this is what we're looking at now. So I have all my controls, and I can see what the camera is seeing on my cell phone now, and I can extend this and begin filming. I can tilt the, you can see this gimbal is just floating around like that, so as I'm walking it'll stay kind of level and reduce any bouncing around. This is a really good way of stabilizing video, and I can turn it up or turn it down. So I have a little button on the joystick for tilting the camera up, down, left, and right. I can start and stop recording. I can change modes. I can have the camera point back at me just like that, and now I'm filming myself, right? So just push the button again and it points forward. So this is a handy little unit. The camera, once I hooked it wireless to once it attached wireless to the phone, it just runs this app provided by the same company and lets you do all the controls that you can do on the little screen. You can do it on a nice big screen now. It has automatic settings. You can adjust the ISO and the shutter speed if you want, and get really deep into it. There's all kinds of things you can do with this. So I won't go into that. There's lots of videos you can look into if you're interested in that. But what I'll do here is I think I'll just hold this button and shut off the camera. There she goes. And then for this, I'm going to exit out of this program, and I'll take the cell phone out of here. So that just gives you a rough idea of what we're doing with this thing. And I'll take this camera out of this. And I've made some, I've been making some videos using this setup. Works very nicely. You know, with this camera, it's so smooth. You can be running while you film, and the film is still smooth. It just that gimbal just kind of adjusts and moves around and reacts to your movement. It's kind of amazing what this thing can do. The battery life is pretty good, but if you want longer battery life, there are some ways of accomplishing that. So that's what I'm going to get at next. Now you might have wondered about what this thing here is. We can go into this quite a bit, but this one is a Smat, what do they call it? A Smat stick. It's, and I'll put links to these products in the description to help you out. But basically what you get with is this thing here. It's a Smat stick that comes with the, along with the camera mount. You can buy just the battery. This is a battery, is the main idea behind it. But you can buy it in a version that comes along with the camera mounting kit, and I'd recommend that. Because what you can do with this thing is this is basically a tripod that comes with it, and this center part is the battery actually. And if I wanted to use this with this camera, this might be a way that some people prefer too. I'm going to take my little USB port out here, which I can keep in the handle of this thing very securely, which is kind of nice. And instead of that little joystick, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this USB connector and I'll slide that in there. There, now that's in. Take the camera here. As soon as I hook it in, it should just fire up the program. Okay, so right away I'm hooked into the phone here, and just like we were doing with the extension rod, this is even easier yet because there's no wireless connection really. Now the way it's set up like this, you could use it just like this, but it's, you know, if you're like me, you don't, that's kind of wiggly. That's not very secure. And plus, so by mounting it in this, not only will I make it secure, but I'm going to also supply up to 5 or 8 hours of battery life to this thing. So what I'll do is I'll take this thing, I'm going to lay it in here, and then I'm going to take this screw and just tighten the camera in. So everything now is tightly locked in like that. And I can walk around now with this camera just like that, right? And if I want to set it down on a tripod, as a tripod, I can do that. Pretty cool, eh? Now, right now I've just got it hooked in as a stand, but what I can do too is I can now wire this. Now once I've put that wire coming from this battery stick into the USB port of the little camera, now it's charging the camera as well. So I've got all the battery power of this large stick keeping the camera going. And if my phone starts to die, I could charge it off this stick as well. So, you know, if you're going out into the outdoors, you're heading out for a day or two or more, this could probably keep you going the whole time without having to bring any extra batteries and stuff like that. You sure don't want to run out of battery power when you're filming something important. So that's covering that aspect of it. Now, there's another thing that is a real asset to this camera that I didn't mention. I could have mentioned it right off the bat, but when I said we would get this this creator combo kit, one of the neat things that comes with it, actually there's a few neat things, so see how long we want to take in this video to go over it all, but I've got here a little wireless mic that comes with this camera. This mic is so neat. Like if it's windy out, you're going to really want to have this because you can just snap the little wind muff onto the top of it, or use it just like this and clip it on somewhere. And you might think, well, yeah, but how do I get it to connect with the camera? That's probably complicated, eh? It's not complicated. Just turn the power on and the camera knows that the wireless mic is talking to it now, and it lets the wireless mic take over the audio recording. And when you turn the mic off, it just switches back to the camera doing the recording. This camera, though, by itself, it's got inputs for audio or microphones in 4 positions around the camera, and it's really good audio recording just on its own. So this, better yet, even with the wireless mic, though, mind you. So either way, it's going to work great. But like with this wireless mic, you can go walk 50 feet down the trail and be talking, and it's going to pick up just fine. So you know, if you're distant from the camera or starting off far away and walking towards it on a setup shot like that or something like that, it's great. And if you're in windy weather, put that little wind muff on there, and it's going to cancel out the wind, because there is some wind canceling technology built into the camera, but only up to a certain point. If it's really windy, any microphone or standard camera is going to give you a lot of wind noise. This will take care of that. So the camera and the wireless mic, there's a Y charger cable comes with. They're just USB or just a C type connector, say, for smartphones. But it's just you can plug in this and the camera at the same time, and they both charge up real quick. So got that taken care of. Now I think there's something else I was going to mention here. Oh yeah, we also have it comes with a wide angle lens, and that's something that can also be a real asset, especially, let's say, if you're walking and whether you're holding this selfie stick or not, or just holding the camera like this as you're walking. This will work too, you know. But you want to capture a little bit more of your surroundings. This little thing here, let me just show you in this camera view here. It's just a magnet, and it sticks on there. Now I've got my wide angle lens. No, I don't. Very simple, gives a good picture too. So that's some of these things are why I've made this little pouch, is because I want to keep stuff organized. I don't want to lose stuff, and when I want to pick up and go, I want to just be able to know I have everything I need with me. So I got my little wind muff there, and the way I made this thing is I just snap that together, and I can put my selfie stick here, and the little camera goes in this pocket. I can put some more stuff in this back pocket, including the cell phone if I like, and then the whole thing just carries on my shoulder. Let me just put it on just to show you what I mean. Right, so pull my hair out of there. Okay, yeah. So this way you don't even notice you have it on. I could have it on underneath my vest, for instance, eh? So now I'll just leave this on now. But I think that kind of covers the main gear setup that I want to talk about. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. If you have some questions about this unit, by all means put them in the comments below. I'm happy to answer that. I'm very happy with this unit, and probably pepper in a few shots in this video showing some of what I've been recording for examples. Like, I'm not a professional cameraman or enthusiast by any means, so just like a regular guy, like most of you watching, I like to record what I'm doing, and I think it's really fun, and I do really value the fact that now I can record in 4K. Now, mind you, these 4K files that you produce from video, they're going to be very big. So this may push you to having to buy a larger hard drive or storage for your computer, but doggone, it's well worth it. Just beautiful pictures you get out of it. If you like, I'm not sure exactly if this is going too far afield for most people that are interested mainly in hunting and stuff, but I suspect that a lot of people are. The technology is there. You can do anything you want nowadays and do really professional work with it. So, I mean, if you'd like to learn more about this kind of stuff, I'm happy to do so. We can get into a little bit of video editing too. As far as video editing goes, there is a piece of software out there that is just simply amazing. It is comparable and sometimes rated higher by reviewers than the expensive Adobe software that is used in most professional shops, but this is becoming increasingly popular. It's called DaVinci Resolve. You can get it for free, which is great. You can upgrade it and stuff, for a paid version, but the free version is amazing. So if you want to get into a little bit of this post-processing stuff, we can get into that, a little bit more into the mechanics of working this camera in its different modes. There's lots we could talk about. So hopefully this is giving you a bit of an eye-opener on what's available. You don't necessarily have to be lugging these big cameras around anymore. So I think that's really nice that you can just take this little pocket camera and just pop it in your pocket. Just using it by itself, you don't have to use it with all this gear like this. As long as you have the thing with you, you can just walk with it and film and take beautiful film, just as good as if I'm holding this big thing, right? Just that sometimes I like to have my cell phone as being the monitor, so I can see things, and I can control everything on the cell phone screen by touch too. So it's and then in this case have extra battery power. But even by itself, this camera is gonna film for an hour and a half anyways, which is plenty good for most circumstances. So hopefully this has helped you out a little bit. So I'll sign off on the Way to Native Chronicles as we usually do, and wish you God bless. Catch you next time.
一day to then that can careful. That's